Hi, I'm Pete from F-Body Warehouse, and today we're going to be doing a couple things for you in this video. First off, what we have here is an OER reproduction auto shifter bezel, and we've inserted the REM aluminum based silver shifter bezel inlay onto it. Now, from 1979 to 1981 on the Pace Car Edition Trans Ams, it would be the 10th anniversary, the 1980 Indy, and the 1981 Daytona, the bulb holders were not blue. This is a factory replacement for a non-Pace Car Trans Am. Instead, they were shot in a red color. So what we're also going to do here is we're going to remove these bulb holders, front and back. We're going to reset this to red so that when you turn on your shifter light at night, that will actually glow to a nice, real deep, rich red. Now the second thing we're going to do too is, you notice here, it reads park, reverse neutral, drive, second, and then low. And that was correct from 1970 all the way up to 1980-81. F-Body Warehouse, working with gauge marks, has put together a correct style D21 lens, so we're actually going to be adding that also. So while the bulb holder that we're doing here, resetting it to red, will be correct for 10th anniversary and 80 Indy, the actual work that we're doing for would be used for, say, a 1981 Daytona Pace, the Recaro edition cars. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we need to do is to remove the bulb holder, and as you can see, you have a plastic stud and another plastic stud that are fastened and held in place by this metal slip lock washer. We're going to use a Dremel with a cutoff tool to cut an edge into it so that we can pop these off. And if you're careful in how you do it, you can actually reuse the lock washers. Once you've trimmed it back some, you're going to be able to use a pocket knife to start it, and then a set of needle nose pliers to actually remove it. Once you've removed the lock washers, the whole bulb retainer, base, and shifter light will come up in one fall swoop. Now you're going to see the actual unit is composed of three pieces. And the first piece is going to be the base. The second will be the lens. You can go ahead and pop the lens. And what you'll do is just bend down on the far tab so that the lens case will pop off. The lens then wiggles out, and then you have a black backer plate which should flip over and fall into your hand. And these are the items that we're going to be resetting the color. As you can see in the background here, we have our secondary gauges. And I've reset those a little darker than the factory did. The factory goes more for a pinkish orange. To do that, this Krylon fluorescent orange is going to do real well. And then we do a backsplash with this Duplicolor trim paint, and it's in red. Since I like the color a little deeper, we're going to do the backsplash with the fluorescent, and then we'll go a little heavier on the red. And note, you see here how this is the blue side? You do not want to paint the black side. You're only painting the blue side, and you'll reset that to red. If this was a used shifter bezel that we were going to be working from, we would go ahead and bead blast this prior to painting it. We've reset our bulb holder to red, and also the light block plate. And instead of putting in the factory DSL shift indicator lens, we're installing the new correct for 8081 D21 shift indicator lens produced by GaugeMark. You're going to take the bulb holder and the block plate, you'll flip it over and set it onto the unit, and it'll just snap into place. The next thing you're going to do is take the shift gear indicator lens, and it once again will snap up and into the housing. and then you'll have to push the bottom tab on the housing a little to get it to fit nice and snug, like so. And then we're going to reinstall it onto our shifter bezel. Just flips back over, slips in top and slips in bottom. And then if you remember, we took our Dremel and we trimmed these off real nice and carefully, so we're able to actually reuse them. And you simply just wiggle them down and compress them back on. Once you've got them on, push them down tight onto the stud, top and bottom. And now what we have is a correct look and appearance reproduction shifter bezel for the 1981 Daytona Pace Trans Am. Okay, now we just set the bezel in place on the car, and we're going to go ahead and turn on our interior lights here. And as you can see, that lights up in the red, as opposed to, say, the clear or white light that at factory would have.